Okay guys, so welcome back to Nika's Soul Palace Recipes, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I prepare my oxtails. Now today is one way I'm showing you guys because I prepare them a couple different other ways also. But right here, as you guys can see, it's about 4.5 pounds of oxtails, and most of them is trim, but some have fat, and I want some to have some fat. Basically, I'm going to be oven baking these this time. So to go ahead and get started, to show you guys the ingredients I'm going to be using today is Worcestershire sauce first. And like I stated, I make them different ways. So you guys will see a couple different recipes how I do it. Sometimes I don't oven bake them. Sometimes I stovetop do it. It's different ways. So that was about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Now I'm going to use my seasoning salt. And you can be generous with the seasonings for oxtails, because I find that it takes a while for, well, not a while, but you could overly season a little bit. You know how some meats you have to be in particular about how much seasoning you're using because it'll be over flavored? Well, oxtails, you could put a little more arm in it. Adobo seasoning, as always, one of my favorite seasonings, as you guys know. Garlic powder. And I'll also list in the subscription exact measurements for you guys. Black pepper. Minced garlic, or you could use fresh garlic, whatever you have. I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons of that. And again, this is just marinating. I'm going to be actually marinating mine for about 48 hours. This is green bell pepper onions. I normally have red peppers, but I didn't have that today. So I'm just using basically what I have today. This is gravy master. Sometimes I don't use this, but the majority of the time I do. It just darkens the oxtails. But if you don't have it, don't worry about it. And if you want them to be a little darker, just when you're searing them over the stove, just leave them a little longer. That'll help to turn them dark also. This is thyme. Now you could use fresh thyme also. This is what I had, so this is just what I'm using. And like I said, it's so many different ways that you guys can marinate these oxtails, because I do them all kind of different ways. Sometimes I put the Lipton onion soup in, ketchup. That's another good way I like to do it too, with that Lipton onion soup mix. But I didn't have any today, so I'm not even going to worry about it. And then you just start mixing. And like I said, this is a marinade, so it's going to sit in your refrigerator covered. You don't have to let it sit 48 hours. Recommended is 24 hours. But I'm making something else tomorrow, so mine's a sit. So I'll come back and let you guys know exactly how long I waited and show you guys how I get them cooked up. But I'm basically just going to sear them, stovetop sear them, and put them in the oven. But I love oxtails. They're so good. And then I'm going to add some more flavors just to the other side. let me wash my hands really quick. Okay, and then I just repeat and add a little bit more of the same. I put a good amount on there of that, so I don't need too much. But also marinating helps the flavor be in more. So also be mindful of that too. Because the longer it sit, the better this meat gonna taste. Now I don't need to add any more minced garlic or any more of that ketchup. I'll add a little more thyme, and I'm gonna finish rubbing the seasonings all in, and then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. So I'm not gonna add anything else. This is it. And I'll be back in 48 hours. Okay guys, welcome back to Nika's Soul Palace Recipes. And I'm taking the oxtails out of the refrigerator, and this is how it looks. I told you guys that I was going to come back in 48 hours, but this is actually 4 days later. So it's going to just be packed with flavor because it's sat so long. But you see how it got dark from using the gravy master? So I'm going to come over to the stove and I'm going to start searing them. Okay, so just stick them in. Ooh. Now these are going to go on each side for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then I'm going to take them out. So I'll show you guys exactly how it looks when I'm done with that. But you just let them go. Okay guys, so it's been about 4 minutes, and I'm just going to flip them to the other side. So you see how it looks when I flip it? That's all you do. And then just let this other side go for 4 minutes also. And then I'm going to put this in the baking pan that I'm going to use because I'm going to be oven baking these today. So once I get all of them cooked up like this and ready to go, then I'll show you guys what I do. Okay guys, so this is what all the oxtails being seared looks like. So basically you could just put a little bit of beef broth at the bottom and just cover it with foil and put it in the oven. It's going to take roughly 3.5 to 4 hours to bake. Well, about 3 to 3.5. I also have this that was from the marinade. I'm just going to go ahead and put over it. But I just wanted to show you guys, if you did want to make some gravy, what you can do really quick. I'm just going to make a little bit because I don't really want it smothered or a lot of gravy, but I'm going to show you guys what you can do. So follow me to the stove. Okay guys, so I just put a couple of onions in here. This was the rest of the oil from the oxtail. I actually could have poured a little bit out, but it's okay. So this onions is just going to be the flavor of the gravy a little bit more. So just going to let that go for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to start adding in my flour. Like I said, I only do this step if you just want some gravy. I'm going to only actually make a little bit because, like I said, I wasn't in the mood for gravy tonight. And you'll just kind of start adding in equal parts of the flour as what you have with the oil. However much oil you kind of want to add the same for flour. And don't dump it all in at once because you want to kind of see what you have. You don't want your greasy gravy also. So as you guys can see what the flour is doing, I still see it'll be greasy. I can just tell from the way it's forming with all the bubble. So I'll add a little more flour. So this is the roux. Like I said, I like to make when I'm doing foods that I had to sear on the stove and get the drippings from. This is how I would make the gravy then. I'll put a little seasoning. So it's just a little bit of seasoning salt. Just a little bit of garlic powder. And a little bit of black pepper. Now the oxtail gravy, and just by being seared in this frying pan, is already adding flavor. But this just to give it additional flavor. Okay, so now all I do is just add some beef broth. And like I said, I'm not doing a large pan. I just wanted to show you guys how to get it started if you wanted to do this step. Now, once you add your beef broth, just let this get thick. It'll thicken out. So you give it probably about 5 minutes or a little less. It'll thicken up and become gravy. Now I'm just going to pour it over. Like I said, I just wanted to show you guys how to make it. But I might pour it over, I might not. I really didn't want gravy, but I want to show you guys how to do it. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back, and as you guys can see, it gravied up. Now if you want it thinner than this, just add some more water or beef broth. It's thick, so you wouldn't need to do nothing else for it to have got thicker. But yep, this is what you do, and this actually just took about 3 to 4 minutes. So I'm just gonna pour this into the oxtails, and that's it. Like I said, I didn't want a lot of gravy. I just wanted to show you guys how to do it. But there go your homemade gravy. This actually is very good. Oxtail gravy is very good. So I'm gonna put it in the oven for 3 to 3.5 hours. Then I'll be back with the final results. Okay, so I'm back, and the oxtails cooked for 3 hours, and this is the results. Well, baked. I didn't have any butter beans. My son actually messed up my dinner plans for the night. I had something else planned and he wanted these. So I ended up just making some mixed vegetables because I didn't even know I was making these tonight. But as you guys can see, it's a little bit of gravy that I had showed you guys how to do earlier. I kind of mostly cooked it out. I didn't even want them this gravy. You can actually get more, like smother it, but I didn't even really want gravy, like I said. So I just wanted to show you guys how to do it. But as you can see how tender they are. They're very, very, very tender. You see? You could just cut through. So, yep, 3 hours, and that's what it'll get you. So, I already started making my son's plate. Like I said, I only did mixed veggies because I wasn't even I didn't even know I was doing this meal, or else I would have had some cabbage or some green beans or something. Cabbage, macaroni and cheese. The good stuff you want with your oxtails. I don't know why I didn't get that other damn spoon. And this is his plate. So this is the oxtails, the rice with the mixed veggies. And again, as always, like and subscribe. And I'll be back with another vid soon. Thank you.